This is Tech Gears. My name is Levi, and Merry Christmas to you guys. End of 2023 here, and today I have a bag I'm really interested in. I'd love to share with you guys, and that is the Nutsac Rucksack. Welcome to the channel, guys. We'll go over different bags, carries, cameras, and lens stuff, and today I had an opportunity to get this bag for a really great deal, and I just wanted to share it with you. If you wanted to go over other reviewers that actually go over all those specs and details and measurements, there's some great reviewers out there. Maybe I'll put some links in, but I just wanted to give you my thoughts, and hopefully if this is something you're interested in, this can be helpful for you. But with that all said, let's get right into it. All right, so first off, the name Nutsac has to be one of the funniest names out of any company that I know of. It doesn't matter what, I can't think of anything even close, especially in the carry community with bags. You know, you have Peak Design or North Face or Wandered, Shimoda, and then you have Nutsac. And honestly, the closest competitor to this, where you have just a beautiful wax canvas and leather and actually a beautiful bag, would be something like the likes of Filson, where they have their tin cloth and other materials where it's just a very heritage looking bag that when you wear this, honestly, this feels like what Indiana Jones would have worn if he had a backpack. And why is that? Well, first is just looks. I mean, this thing is actually a really cool looking bag. It is just a top loader. Everything is raw about it, of how you handle it. The latch here is just this beautiful leather. We're very tactile, very sensory driven. The handle is actually just really nicely wrapped. You have leather right here, along with just like a seatbelt kind of material that feels very sturdy and well built. I don't care how much weight you're putting in this. It just feels like it's ready to go, built incredibly well. Like, there's not any loose stitching I can see anywhere on here. This thing, it has your natural kind of patina that you're going to get on a wax canvas. Obviously, you can wax it again and give it a different look that kind of gives it life and character as it grows with you. And everything about it is very, I guess, organic. I mean, we'll start with just the front here. Like I said, it closes with this leather kind of strap here, and you unseat that, and it just has a little button here and just has holes in this leather. This isn't some fancy, I remember when Peak Design had their magnetic latch. I mean, and that is super cool. And then you take it back to something that they would have done hundreds of years ago. And it's also cool, something that just works. This is not going to break on you. And it's a piece of leather that is actually really quite thick here. Hopefully you guys can see that. And it's a open top loader. So this is very similar to what GoArc has with their M22 or now M23 line. This is, I'm trying to think, similar to something like Track, and I'll show you that kind of the closest, where you have like that open flip top loader. And then this does have a drawstring where you can open it up, so you can just use the very last one I've been using, where this is fully loaded. I just have a pillow in here to give it some shape. And I don't know if you guys saw it here, you do have kind of a quick access zipper right here, and it goes about hand deep, so you are able to put some quick things that you need in here. Generally, even if this is closed, I actually keep the zipper open because it is a tight fit in there. So when I use that, I do have just my AirPods in there, just some odds and ends. I will have a quick access I'll throw in there, and you're good to go. Very simple. There's no other real pockets anywhere around the bag, and we'll get to this zipper in a second here. And then secondly, you have these really sleek, and I'll button it back up here, water bottle pockets. Hey, who knew it has water bottle pockets? I feel like GoRuck is the only company that is like anti-bottle pocket, but they did release ones in their kids ruck that had them. So we know they can do it. We know they're thinking about it. But These bottle pockets, they actually snap close right here, so you have a really streamlined bag. If you don't need it, it doesn't look like it has them. When you do need it, unbuckle it. And the only problem I have with this, there's no, and this is where I would like a little bit of modern improvement. There's no stretch, there's no elasticity to this. This isn't any fancy material, this is just more wax canvas. So when you do put a bottle in here, it either takes up the space or it doesn't. Most of my bottles that I put in here, nothing is falling out, but they're just not very confidence inspiring when you put them in here. So this is not a bag meant for, I would say, a rigorous hike. But if you're just walking about and you're walking in town, that's gonna be perfectly fine. If you're doing anything where you have to run to get your train, I don't know if I'm gonna trust that. So it has it on both sides. I actually did use them while zipped up as other quick access pockets where I actually had my hand sanitizer in that, and it worked out well. So you don't have to use them for just bottle pockets, you can use them for other things. Now, because it is a top loader, you are going to feel sometimes like, man, it's tough to get everything that's in the bottom. Do I have to unload it all? How easy access is it? And this does have a back zipper here. Now, this back zipper, I thought would also give access to the laptop compartment, but it doesn't. To get to your laptop compartment, you do have to go from the top, but this does give you full access to the interior. And again, if I have a cap 1 in there, that's something I have actually thrown in and out, and it's not too bad. And I'm actually going to take the pillow out. You can see that was the whole length of this bag. So we'll take that out here. And even if I have a cap 2, this actually fits in the bottom really nicely. I can probably fit 3 cap 2 stacked on top of each other, and it's really simple like that. That is it. There's not much to this bag. It has one zipper inside, and I'll see if we can get here on camera, right where the laptop compartment is. You guys can see that a little bit. Very little flap, a little zipper here, which is fine. I actually did keep my cap 1 kind of hanging out top in there where I keep my chargers and other things I need for my laptop. And then it has 2 little quick access, and I wouldn't even say quick, just pockets right here on the top. That is actually pretty helpful. And then what's finally one of the last things that I love is this also leather keyring strap, which is just the thick piece of leather, just dual stitched with a firm button clasp. And that little detail, again, put your keyring on there. It's not that easy to access, but I do love the touches that they've done on this thing. So this is one of those bags that when you wear it, I'm gonna liken it to something like when you put on a fine suit. If you guys have ever worn clothes that feel technical or well made, even if you're an athlete, you put on a shirt that's maybe not a dry fit, but a higher end shirt, and you're like, oh man, this feels light and breathable. Put on a nice suit where you're like, okay man, I feel good, I look good. This bag kind of does that. You put it on, it instantly makes you feel a little more outdoorsy or rugged or wanting to go on an adventure. It is just a really cool pack, and how it's made, how it's designed, and where it comes from. I've only had this bag for a short time, and this leather bottom is such a thick piece of cowhide that yes, it has kind of some light scuffs on there that you can't really tell, but this is itching to be kind of moisturized and polished over, and definitely something that's going to wear in more over time. And on top of that, the straps, very simple. Maybe I could have used a little extra width depending on your neck size. So for me, I was okay, but I can definitely see some folks where this is a little tight. It does angle just enough. I think most people are gonna be able to get a comfortable fit. This kind of goes the route of kind of like the Nomen, where these are thin straps. They're not very well padded, but they are very wide. So it does distribute that weight fairly well. And the bag is not big enough where you're putting a ton of weight in here. Even if I had my 30-pound ruck plate in here with 30 pounds, it feels comfortable. So maybe you can out stuff it and put more things in there, but even at that weight, it still felt pretty good. There's not a real way to put a sternum strap on here. If you guys have those or you need them, this is not as important, but you do have a few D-rings that are built in to just clip things on if you need it. And I love even the latches where you tighten it down. It's not a easy, it just uses an old school 2 kind of D-rings where you put one in, you tighten it down. That is not coming loose. Really simple. This thing is just made very simply with quality materials where I can confidently say this is going to last a long time. As a very apocalyptic look, Indiana Jones adventure where you're going to look just as in place hiking in a third world country as you will walking down the streets of here in Chicago, where it just looks classy and good. This has been a fun pack to own. If you guys did have any questions, I actually did sell this and this is going to a new owner. I'm happy I've owned it. It's something you really kind of need to experience and feel like, hey, is this your vibe? Because when you wear it, it is very personal. How you pack it, how you want it to look, and you know, if it's your personal style, if it's how you pack, this is an awesomely well-made bag. But we put that to the side here. The reason I sold it is honestly, my personal taste is just a bit more technical. This was something that came out just recently. This is the Trakke Bannoch in EcoPak. If I'm mispronouncing that, I do apologize to one, the company, but two other owners of it. But this is Trakke's kind of quality, just everyday bag where it uses just newer Cobra buckles, which I just love way more. Still kind of that open flap top, but I don't have that drawstring where I don't have to worry about that. Has a few more simple pockets in the front, and again, if you notice, it's just a flap. Like, there's nothing fancy here. There's no buttons, and you know, maybe it would be cool to put some magnets there. Trakke, I don't know if that's something you're thinking about. Has a sleeve that works right here, and when you go inside, again, you have one simple zippered quick access, or where you can keep your chargers and pouches there, but it's just a very open bag. There's no other way to get in the bag. But the side bottle pockets also have a strap. So everything I really loved about the Nutsac, which I did kind of like that old world feel, I did kind of like that classicness, I'm getting from Trakke. And this they also sell in a wax canvas, and specifically a dry wax canvas, so it's beautifully well done, very similar. They do sell it in similar colorways to that, in a wine color and tan colors, and obviously black, but very natural kind of earthy tones that look incredible. So these are very close in competitors, maybe not exactly, but the fact that they made this bag in a material that for me just feels really more rugged, feels a little bit more modern, is quite a bit more waterproof, I absolutely love. Now, this is my own patch that I threw on there from Triple Out Designs, so this is not the Trakke patch. It does come with a Velcro patches, as all new Trakks started to do, which I really do appreciate. But this pack, very similar, just wide straps, not hugely cushioned, but just quite comfortable for what you put in it, and you're not going to put a ton of weight in here. Again, there is no simple way to actually put a chest strap on there, and what I was able to do was find one from Defy here in Chicago that's also a Cobra buckle, and it just kind of straps onto the sides. I don't know if you guys, let's see, actually know a better way, but I love how this works and looks with the rest of the bag. And this is kind of the reason where I've been happy enough to sell that and still have something that's classic looking, as well as this is the reason I didn't get, well, also because I don't think many of us were able to, that new Gora Carryology Bullet collab, where that was an 18 liter. This is considered 20 liters, but very similar kind of size and what you're going to bring with it. Although the 18 liter is amazing, I'm happy I went with this, and this is something I think just is going to age very well just with time and with that classic look. And at least for me, I really do love these Cobra buckles. They're fun to latch on, they're fun to use, and you have plenty of space here where if you did need more, you loosen those up, and you can really kind of stuff this thing fairly well where it stays small if you need it. You don't carry much stuff, but it gets bigger and expands as you need. I think a little bit better than the Nutsac. With that said, guys, really appreciate you watching this channel. Please consider subscribing. Let me know if any videos you want to see as far as comparisons or any thoughts that you would like me to go over. I'm happy to help. This is Levi with Tech Gears, and Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching.